A woman who appeared to be armed and several associates stormed a bank in Lebanon on Wednesday, demanding $13,000 of her own money. That's according to a source with an advocacy group for bank customers. Lebanon's financial crisis has been ongoing for 3 years and is so bad that banks have locked many customers out of their savings. Much of the population is unable to pay for basic needs. The woman was identified by her mother as Sally Hafiz. Before going into hiding, Hafiz told Lebanese television that it was a toy gun and that she needed to access her money in order to finance her sister's cancer treatment.
I have nothing more to lose. I got to the end of the road. 2 days ago, I went to the branch manager and begged him, told him my sister is dying. She doesn't have time. After giving me a hard time, he finally said he can give us $200 a month at the rate of 12 million Lebanese pounds, which is not even the price of an injection that my sister needs to take daily. It is a shame to say this, but I got to a point where I was going to sell my kidney so that my sister could receive treatment. Because what is the point of my life if I see her dying in front of my eyes without me doing anything?
Lebanese banks will remain shut down indefinitely due to lack of security protection by authorities, says an article from Reuters. The announcement by the Association of Lebanese Banks follows a string of raids by customers demanding access to frozen savings last week. It said their employees faced risks which had not been mitigated. A woman armed with a toy gun staged a holdup at a bank on Wednesday to pay for her family's medical bills. There have since been other raids in similar styles, with reports of at least 5 on Friday. Lebanon is in a severe economic crisis, with more than 80% of the population struggling to afford food and medicine. The raids have mostly drawn support from the general public and have been seen as acts of desperation by people who do not have criminal records and are trying to settle bills. Banks have limited withdrawals of dollar since 2019, when the value of the Lebanese pound plummeted and the inflation started soaring in Lebanon. The biggest threat to Lebanon's stability in 2022, though, will continue escalating economic and financial crisis, along with rising poverty, are threatening the humanitarian crisis and severe civil unrest brought about by years of corruption, nepotism, and mismanagement. This worsening economic situation may provoke a spike in violence and insecurity. High levels of protests and riots are likely to continue throughout the year. Strain on the country's security forces, underpaid and stretched ever thinner by internal unrest, could further compound instability in Lebanon, or better said, escalate the current collapse to other countries to be emulated, which apparently is being fulfilled country to country from east to west. So let's get more content to get better context of what's going on and see for ourselves the current state of affairs. Editor, roll clip, fair use.
Banks in Lebanon will shut down for 3 days next week after security concerns have been escalating. This follows incidents of depositors storming banks, holding the employees hostage, and forcibly demanding that they should be allowed to withdraw their savings. At least 5 Lebanese banks were held up by depositors on Friday who demanded that their own money be released by the banks. And this was the latest in a series of such attacks that have rocked the country in recent weeks. In one of Friday's attacks, an armed man identified as Abed Sobra entered the Blom Bank demanding his deposit. He later handed his gun to the security forces but remained locked in the bank past sunset, negotiating with the bank officials to withdraw his $300,000 in savings in cash.
Banks say they are short of cash and fear if depositors continue winning legal challenges, they will have to declare bankruptcy. They say the answer is for the political authorities to pass a law that would regulate the outflow of foreign currency.
Capital control measures. That would have even the level playing field for all depositors. It would have prevented all these accusations against banks of favoring certain depositors over others, favoring politicians over regular citizens.
Banks have been accused of helping the politically connected transfer their money abroad. Many of them are shareholders in Lebanon's largest banks. Critics called the financial system a Ponzi scheme. Depositors have been facing limits on withdrawals at unfavorable exchange rates. Now, some banks are closing accounts of mainly British passport holders after a UK court ordered a Lebanese bank to give a depositor his money. Depositors say they are offered a check for the balance, but they are worth less than 20% of their value.
Should he go to jail because people need money from him while he has money in the bank? He wants what is rightfully his. Good luck to him. We, the Lebanese people, stand in solidarity with anyone who has rights. There's no violence, no destruction, nothing. The security forces know we're right. This is why they're not doing anything.
We can now go across to correspondent Rawat Taha standing by in Beirut. What on earth is going on in Lebanon?
Thank you so much. Well, to be very frank, this is the result of 3 years of lack of decision-making by the current ruling elite in Lebanon. All economists and even the IMF has warned of such situations, especially that the political elite and the parliament has not issued capital control, which was required to be issued on the eve of the beginning of the crisis on October 17, when the banks first closed after the uprising or after the start of the mass protests in 2019. In particular, over the past 3 years, the political elite has not adopted any real reform plan in terms of restarting the economic structure and restarting the economic circulation. Moreover, in terms of the reality on the ground, over the past 2 days, over the past 40 hours only, we've seen 8 raids on banks by their customers or by their depositors who are really asking for their own money. You know, it's really surreal at times that a customer has to raid the bank, pull up a very important and a very strong fight, sometimes using real gun machinery, real weapons, at times in other cases, and which was more of a movie scene.
A source at the advocacy group Depositors Outcry told Reuters that the group took responsibility for the incident at Blombank in Beirut's Adeko neighbourhood. This isn't isolated. On the same day, a man in the city of Ali also held up a bank to withdraw his own funds before turning himself in to authorities, according to the advocacy group. Last month, a similar incident happened. Blombank confirmed in a statement that the hostage situation had ended, but did not give further details.
Hey guys, it's Jose, your regular Joe Blow again, keeping an eye out and my ears open. And like clockwork, second country in dire straits of hyperinflation collapsing its economy and in a bad state with a run-on bank scenario. I bring this to educate us. Do your research, budget, have multiple income streams, as well as multiple investments and savings. And also diversify savings to multiple accounts, gold, silver, Bitcoin, crypto, and outside savings. From bank accounts to cash to surf this wave. I am not a financial advisor, so guys, protect yourself and your family. That's what matters. Have multiple eggs and multiple baskets. And thank you. I'll keep bringing you my best. Thanks for the support and the continuous love that continues to multiply. And as always, stay free.
It ain't hard to tell. I excel, then prevail.